Problem with the Keynesian framework. Hold all bonds or all money. No diversification. If, for example, people want to hold all bonds and all money at the same time, it means no diversification. So Keynes theory fails here. Keynes analysis implies that practically no one holds a diversified portfolio of bonds and money simultaneously at a store of wealth, because Keynes says that either you will keep money or you will spend your money on bond. And he said that no one holds a diversified portfolio of bonds and money simultaneously as a store of wealth. Since diversification is apparently a sensible strategy for choosing which assets to hold, the fact that it rarely occurs in keen analysis is a serious shortcoming of his theory of the speculative demand for money. So there was no place for diversification. If you want to hold bonds and money at the same time, then there is no space in the Keynes theory to discuss this point, because J. M. Keynes is saying that either you will keep a bond or you will keep money. You can't keep both assets simultaneously as a store of wealth. However, the Tobin model avoids Keynes' analysis criticism. His theory is the one which has power to avoid the Keynes analysis criticism. Tobin's idea was that not only do people care about the expected return on one asset versus another asset when they decide what to hold in their portfolio, but they also care about the riskiness of the return from each assets. Now, Tobin model is focusing on the risk factor in the decision as well, because J. M. Keynes is simply saying that if you want to hold the money, you will hold money in that case where your expected return on money is higher than the expected return on bond. On the other hand, you will keep a bond only if your expected return on bond is greater than the expected return from on money. But Tobin model is focusing on the risk factor as well. Tobin assumes that most people are risk averse. There are three kinds of people. Some people are risk averse. They don't like to take a risk. Some people are risk lover. They love to take a risk. Some people are moderate or they are neutral. So Tobin assumed that most people are risk averse. They would be willing to hold an asset with a lower expected return if it is less risky. Look at this point. This is very, very important statement of the Tobin model. J. M. Keynes was of the view that people will hold that particular asset having more returns. But Tobin is saying that people will hold an asset with a lower expected return if it is less risky. So Tobin is saying that people are willing to hold an asset with a lower expected rate if it is less risky. Okay, if its return is lower, but if it is less risky, people still love this decision. So an important characteristics of money is that its return is certain. Tobin assumed it to be zero. He said that the important characteristics of money is that its return is certain, and Tobin assumed it to be zero. Now, on the other hand, what about the case of bonds? Bonds can have substantial fluctuations in price that are not certain, and their return can be quite risky and sometimes negative. So, there are fluctuations in the price of bonds. It means activity or investing in bonds may have high risks involved, and sometimes their expected return are negative. So if the expected return on bonds exceeds the expected return on money, people might still want to hold money. Why? Because it has less risk associated with its return than bonds. So we can conclude that people want high returns on an asset but low risk. Number second, as I increases, as interest rates increase, people hold more bonds and less money, but still diversify and hold M.